Well, I'll tell you, you're talking about this, and I'm thinking there's one piece of my own business that I'm dying to outsource, but I can't figure out how to do it, which is the sales function. I hate doing like sales stuff. I'd love to find somebody to outsource that to. That'd be great. But everything else, I feel like you can outsource marketing, you can outsource content, anything, content marketing, content development. You can outsource, I think, just really any function in your business. And I'm sure there's somebody where I could outsource the sales function, but
yeah, well, there are. But I also think, though, like this conversation, someone hears it and they enjoy listening to you. And they're not even perhaps looking for someone. I do it. I understand like the more direct one-to-one communication in a sales situation is like someone calling me up and saying, hey, you should work with Diane. I get that. But there's also an aspect of like, I could listen to this podcast, hear you talk and say, this is exactly the type of person I need to reach out to. And I could message you on any different platform. And that's definitely more inbound approach. But at the same time, there's a lot of leverage in media because you can go off and do whatever you have to do. Like I said, I listened to a podcast that you were on last night. Like I couldn't have called you up and asked you all those questions. Someone already did. And I got to listen to it and I got to learn about you and be like, oh, I'm really excited about having this conversation, or who knows when someone would hear that. But I think that's the opportunity for sales. And that's why I think content is so useful in all these ways, not as a means to an end only, because there's so many benefits from just you and I having a conversation and learning and thinking through it. And someone on my team can listen to it and your son could hear it one day. Who knows, right? But there is that. And yeah, and then you don't have to talk to him. He's like, I could just listen to your podcast, Mom. Like, leave me alone. So I think that the content aspect of it is that because you're doing it, right? I mean, you are creating content, you're appearing on podcasts. I mean, you're seeing some sort of benefit. Maybe it is just for you to like, I just want to have open dialogue with people. Or I want to have open dialogue with the mic and myself and just see what happens. And what has been that journey like for you of creating content, getting on podcasts and having these types of conversations?
You know what? It's been a lot of fun. So we talked earlier about me keeping my business small and just me and wanting to be a parent. I'm in the phase now where I became an empty nester right before the pandemic and decided, okay, it's time to grow the business. And so I'm doing these things that I advise my clients to do. The cobbler is making shoes for herself.
Right. There you go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was a stretch there.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
And it's been really gratifying, not only meeting new people, which I really enjoy, and having these conversations, but then what comes out of it. So people picking up the phone and calling me. A lot of people will email first or what have you. I like when people just call me, spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Makes my day fun. So
you can tell like just the demeanor that you have, the way you're having a conversation about it. It's like that other question of like, you really do seem happy with how you've built your business and then the choices you've made. And like you said, of being able to pick your kids up, like everyone has these personal choices. And I think it gets into this whole thing of like, we talked about society and the different types of questions that come about and what people expect of you, because society tells you to want more. But a lot of it comes to admitting to yourself what you want. Like, yeah, this is what I want. I want to be able to pick my kids up. Like someone could judge me for being in line at carpool and be like, shouldn't they be at the office? Or why aren't they at the grocery store at this hour? And all these things. It's like, what's it to you? And it's this thing that like, you almost have to not care what everyone else is thinking. Absolutely. And then really just admitting to yourself and being at peace with that, because that's where all the disruption comes in, right? In your own head to think that, oh my God, what are they going to do? And I can't do this. And I have to work at these hours, because it's like this expectation of saying, I have to be in the office between these hours and these hours. And it's like, that's someone else telling you what you need to be doing, as opposed to you admitting what you think is best, because there's way more to it than that. So,
you know what? You only have one life and you can't live it for other people. I mean, that's not to say that you live in a vacuum or anything, but other than the people you care about who are close to you, you can't care about other people, what society thinks. Or when somebody asks how many people work for you, letting that somehow invade your thinking or your self-worth, or that's baloney. That's other people's stuff. That's not related to you and your goals and what you want. And so the whole idea is, yeah, what makes you happy? And what do you want to achieve?
Content Matterz with a Z is our content marketing company that helps entrepreneurs tell their own stories to those who care. And here's the thing. We think every entrepreneur that is willing should have their own content platform. And we want to help make that happen, both by working directly with entrepreneurs and by sharing our own stories, exploring the craft of content marketing. Content Matterz, one piece of content at a time. Learn more at CasContent.com.